Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 10 of the April Number Corner. Um, Not a lot of work to do today. We're just going to review some of the work that we did previously. I believe it was day 6. So you're going to need your Number Corner books so we can kind of look at some of the stuff that we did. Make sure that you are updating your calendar grid. On your calendar grid, we are looking at the volume of this rectangular prism on our marker. So make sure you're writing down the length, the width, and the height of that, recording it, and then stating your volume in cubic units or cubic centimeters. Uh, when we're all done, we'll go over that. We're actually going to go over that in a couple days. For calendar collector, remember we have 10 3/4. We're multiplying 10 by 3/4, 3/4 of an hour for that collection, and 3/4 of an hour for the other collection. Just make sure that we are noticing the pattern. 3/4 of an hour, 45 minutes. So, how much is 10 of those? How many minutes is that? And how much is that as a mixed fraction over 60, as well as how much over 100, which would be money. All right, but today we are going to be solving or discussing our solutions. Now, remember back on day 6 and page 68 of your number corner, we were looking at Barbara's bread problems, and you were supposed to pose a couple problems, and a few of you posted on Seesaw your problems, and I have one here that I would like us all to kind of listen to and see. This is a student of mine, Ella, and we're going to listen to her problem. It's about 58 minutes, but you may not be able to see this so well. Our Chromebooks are not, but at least we'll be able to listen, and then we're going to solve the problem as well with her when we're done.
This is my Barb's Banana Bread Problems worksheet from Number Corner, and the one I would like to share is my first one. And the question is, how much of each thing do you need if you made 5 batches of banana bread?
Ooh, good question. How much how much ingredients would we need to make 5 batches? Well, if this is one batch, right? How many do we need to do? Now, what she said is we have to multiply each one of these things by 5. Now, the whole numbers are pretty easy, right? We're going to make these a little smaller. And we know that for sugar, we need 1 cup of sugar for one batch. So that's 1 times 5. So that would equal 5 cups for sugar. Now for shortening, we need, here I'm just going to put short. We need to have 5 times a half a cup. Now remember, when we multiply 5 by a half, that's really 5 over 1. So 5 is my numerator. We go 5 times 1 is 5. And then we put the 2 on the bottom, which equals 2.5 cups, right? For eggs, we need 2 eggs for one batch. So we have to go 5 times 2 eggs. That equals 10 eggs. When we need 3 bananas, bananas, you're going to hear my dog start barking here in a little bit because there's people that walk their dogs out in front and they like barking at the dogs. 5 times 3, and that equals 15 bananas. All right. We have 1 3/4 cups of flour. So for flour, we need 1 3/4 cup times 5. How are we going to do that? Well, we can go 1 times the 5 and then 5 times 3/4, right? So that would be 5. And then we'd have to do the and 15/4, right? Because that would be that would be what 5 times 3/4 was, because 5 over 1 times 3/4 would be 15/4. Or we could change that into 3 and 3/4. When we add that together, we get 8 and 3/4 cups. That was a good one. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm just going to put baking soda. And we need 1. So that is 1 times 5 again. So we need 5 teaspoons. We have salt, which we need a half a teaspoon of salt. So we are again multiplying a half by 5, and we get 5 halves, right? Just like our shortening, which will equal 2 and 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And then lastly, 3/4. Nope. We're doing nuts. But the nuts are optional. But if we were going to add nuts to our banana bread, we need 3/4 times 5. And we see that that equals 15/4, right? Because 5, because this is 5 over 1, really, if we want to look at it. And 5 over 1, 5 is my numerator, so we multiply our numerators together. 5 times 3, which is 15, and 4 times 1 is 4. Or it equals 3 and 3/4 cups. But obviously that's optional. Right? Awesome questions. Thank you, Ella. I really appreciate you coming up with that question for us, and so that we could see. Hopefully, you did something very similar. You could have figured out Barbara's mini loaves, because she wants to make 50 mini loaves, and there in this recipe only makes 4. So depending on what you decided to do for your problem, it's up to you. But good job, Ella. I like the I like your initiative, and I like you posting the stuff to Seesaw. Now, if we were to kind of look at this problem, we would only make 5 batches. So 5 batches is 20 um, loaves. So we need to make 50 loaves. So we need to figure that out. Maybe you did that down here, or you figured out how many eggs or how much sugar or shortening you needed for 50 mini loaves. All right. So I hope everything's going well for you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email your teacher. If you don't, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you later. Enjoy math.